Today, I have Uber here with Media Vision for you to see. And one of the tips that we're going to go over today for launch your listing like a pro is tips for outstanding photos. I have worked with Uber and Bobby, who works with Media Vision for you to see for years, and their quality of work is absolutely outstanding. So I'm really excited for Uber to share his tips that can help you stand out when you do get photos taken for your listing. Alrighty, Uber. The first question that we're going to go over is your best practice recommendations for getting a house ready for photos. What should the realtor be advising their clients? And then any other things that you'd like to add.
Okay, hello everybody. This afternoon, we are here just to talk about this little tips that can help the property to stand out. Just compared to other properties. Okay, so we always recommend the you guys give the clients the property checklist. We have the property checklist also available online. We offer the property checklist to the clients, and we always have like a PDF available for anybody who asks for that. Okay, that's the first tip. Okay, it starts over there. One of the things that I was talking to Gwen in the past, we were talking about like trying not to schedule the vendors on the same day. No vendors. We don't want any vendors. We don't want landscaping. We don't want cleaners because they are going to be interfering with the photo shoot. Okay. And it's not going to make it possible just to have the best pictures of it. For us to take pictures, we are very quick and we can make it easier if the property is ready to go. So those things are making it more difficult. Also, don't schedule any choice at the time that we have also the photo shoot. That also just change everything. So
Don't
please,
schedule any what?
any choice during
Showings. Okay, so no
yes.
vendors, no showings.
Yeah, no vendors and no choice, and also no landscaping and no cleaners, right? Because we don't want those, yeah, when it's time to do the photo shoot. Also, we recommend the vendors, the cleaners, and all these kind of people. They can be just coming the day before. We don't want them even the same day because we want the property just to be ready, the sellers to be relaxed and more chill because we know what we are doing. So we want to make sure that they are just chill and relaxed, and we can take care of the pictures for them.
Those are really good tips, and I do think it's very important because to not have showings or vendors on the same day because sometimes they can change their time or their service runs over, and then you're trying to take photos of the exterior of the home, and there's a landscaper there, or there's
Right.
someone doing cleaning who hasn't finished their job, and it just causes a mess. And although we'd like things to go perfectly, they don't always go perfectly. So, what recommendations are on your checklist?
Okay, so there is like it's 3 pages. So I have it over here with me today, right? So one of the things to get started with those is on the exteriors, we always want the cars out of the driveway. That's very important. No cars. When we show up, the property should be ready to go. So just to make it quicker, to make it easier for everybody. So no cars on the driveway. We don't want to show trash cans, yeah, and no, and I hate trash cans, yeah. So actually, that is one of the things that I take care, yeah, most of the time. And we also want like the landscape should be ready to go, so everything is clean and organized. That for exteriors. For interiors, we have different recommendations over here. So we have the family. If you have family pictures, we always suggest taken down. Okay, taken off. We don't want the house to be looking empty and dead and anything like that, but we want as clean as possible. So no family pictures, okay? Because many people always say, like, can you blur it out? Or can you just try to delete it? So we don't want to be like having to delete the pictures all the time or delete these objects or this stuff that is over there. So we always suggest what we don't want in the picture that to be removed prior to the photo shoot as well. Okay. So personal ornaments, something, animal food bowls or bedding or toys, all that stuff needs to be removed. Oh, one of the tips also is if you need to hide that kind of stuff somewhere, you can use the closets. closets they don't matter except for the primary closet, okay, as well. So we don't want those to be joined. You can use the closet for that, or you can use the garage, unless the garage is something that is going to be standing now, right? That has some new features, new flooring, a nice gym area or something like that, and we want to take a picture of the gym. I mean, or the garage. We just want to make sure that the garage has to be clean as well. Other than that, use the garage for all the stuff. Okay, so that's something that you can use for to put the stuff away. For mirrors, oh yeah, free or streaks for mirrors or stuff like that that is gonna be hanging in the mirrors or uh, stickers. Clean the mirrors the best you can, and also the windows. If you can clean the windows, that can help you out as well. Okay. Um, for floorings, we always recommend not too many mats or rocks over there, door mats. One thing is we need all the lights on, always, all the lights on, all the fans off, and all the blinds tilted open. So we can have a flow of natural light, okay, coming inside the house, and we like it natural. Instead of just trying to use on kind of different lighting, we usually use the natural light as a factor to take the pictures, okay? Real estate sign, they need to be removed for the pictures if possible. Uh, and then large weeds, fallen trees and palms and all that stuff, they need to be also try to be removed for the stereo pictures, okay? We have also a lot of more tricks over here. So uh, yeah. Okay, so just try to make it as clean as you can. With the kitchen, we always like to show counters, so we always recommend just to keep it as clean as you can. Don't use too much of the space with a lot of stuff. So we always recommend like just keep it to the minimum over there, okay, on the counters. The cleaner, the better. No soap and no sponges or anything like that in the kitchen. And for the refrigerator, we always suggest just to keep it clean and no magnets or stickers or anything on the refrigerator because it's gonna look a little funny. Yeah, we don't want dishes in the sink or any other stuff that can be like distracting for the picture. So yeah, so that's part of the stuff that we like to yeah to make sure that it's not gonna be for the pictures over there. Any questions so far?
No, I think that we get the gist. So just making sure that everything is super minimal, making sure the mats are picked up, all of the things on the countertop are put away, putting those things either in cabinets, closets, or the garage. And one thing that I haven't heard you mention that I know that you guys do recommend, but like making sure that all of the beds are made. You want it to look as professional and clean and presentable as possible so that it doesn't look, an unmade bed can just look so messy. So all of those tips have been super great. So the best practices for the realtor is to go ahead, review the sheet that you have, send that to their client, ensure that they're ready whenever you're there to take photos, not schedule any vendors on the same day. And then my next question is, should the realtor be at the appointment for the photos?
Okay. So usually we will think the realtor should be there because it's a way just to keep the sellers a little bit more chill and relaxed, okay? And keeping away because that's another thing with the photo shoot. The sellers are gonna be always like kinda picky and they can be also a little bit nosy. So they can be trying to just pick on the side, on the corners and stuff like that. Also, because we want to make sure the pets are put away. Yeah, that's very important. We love pets. We love cats. We love and we love dogs, but we don't want them to be like running through the pictures and being caught up in the pictures. So we want to make sure that yeah, if the realtor can be there to help with those things, that will be very nice. Also, if the seller needs to be moving a little bit of stuff. We are very patient with that, and we don't have any problem. But we want to make sure that if the seller needs to move something, the the realtor should be there to help a little bit with that. Okay, so we always recommend just like that. When the properties are vacant, we always suggest if the property is vacant, we don't want anybody to be there. Supposed to be vacant and empty, right? But we always suggest the realtor to go before and check out and make sure the property is ready to go. Because when we go over there and we start taking when we show up to take the pictures and we see objects, I mean, we don't want to say no. We will have to come back or something because it's filled with a lot of objects and stuff that is not a way and is making the property look bad. So we always want to try to make sure that yeah, the everything is ready to go. So we always suggest real tours because some realtors don't even know the how the property condition is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think also whenever it is occupied and the sellers are going to be home for photos, or even if they're not going to be home for photos, it's especially important for the realtor to get there before you guys get there so that you guys aren't showing up at the same time and then finding out that the property is not ready. Because whenever I was a selling agent, I did have that experience once or twice where I got there, they said that they were ready, and then the checklist that we had from the stager was not complete. There were things that needed to be done. You guys got held up, and I know that you guys experience this pretty often. So, occupied, show up before, make sure that your property is ready and that your sellers are allowing the photographer to do what they need to do. Vacant, still show up before to ensure that everything's ready. You don't want any surprises with photos. And then vacant and empty whenever the photographers go to do their photos. And then everything that you've told us has been super helpful. And I'm just curious, you guys work with so many realtors in the DFW Metroplex that I know that there are a few that stand out to you who do things that other realtors don't do, which leads to better photos. And I'm just curious, those top realtors that you do notice things on, what is it that they do that just make everything smooth for them, for their clients, for you guys, and leads to a better product?
Okay, yeah, we have different, yeah, and we have a lot of realtors, and a lot of them are really, really good at what they do, right, with the clients. But out of them, we can say that some of them stand out for us because when we show up, the house is impeccable. It's just ready to go. The realtor already showed up over there. They recommended the sellers to leave the property so that way the pictures can yeah everything can run smoothly for us to take the pictures, and they already had the house like previously staged or reviewed by somebody else to make sure the property is like following the guidelines that we get given before. Okay, so it's always trying to give the property checklist to the clients, and they already have everything set up and ready to go. They already have the lights on, fans off, blinds tilted up, and they already know all the stuff that is required. And you just get there and you feel like at peace because it's already like, okay, let's do this job. The part that we had to do is just, okay, show up and take care of the pictures and make the pictures look great. So I think that that's the main thing. That they are already just like previously prepared. They give everything, and they are perfectly staged because they already were there. And sometimes they even have stagers to help and just to make sure the property is like in perfect condition. If they don't have a stager, they already have learned how to stage a house and make it perfectly fine for the photo shoot. So yeah, I can think immediately like some people in my mind, and I can say like, oh wow, they are great, all right, yeah, because you don't have to do anything. You just show up and do your part. That is the photos. You don't have to move anything. You don't have to change anything, and just try to make the pictures look as great as possible. And some of them also stand out because they use all the additional services, and those additional services, so some of those services are the 3D tours that we have available, and the aerials also available, and the videos also, right? Because we offer those services, and some of them even just want to do extra stuff like we offer digital twilight for people who like those twilights as a main picture cover or something like that. So we offer those services, and people like to use all the stuff. Mhm.
Mhm. I do think that photography and the media that we put out on social, or not me, I don't sell houses anymore, but the uh, media that realtors put out online are crucial to their property getting attention, to the property standing out, and even ensuring that the value is related with the marketing. Because there are times, and this makes me absolutely cringe inside, but realtors will use their phone to take photos, and I just think that that's such a disservice, especially whenever you're being paid, anywhere from 1 to 3% on a listing to market the property, to get it sold for a seller. And that's a critical step to take, and it's missed already. And then 2, I think that it's so important, like you said, like the people who stand out the most are the ones who do their job, go to the property, make sure that everything looks nice. And even if they don't want to do full on staging with furniture in the home, if it's occupied, it's really nice whenever they have a stager give recommendations. They come in, they say, take these photos off the wall. Like you said, move these rugs, move this furniture here. They work with what they have. I think that that's what you're referring to. And I love how that ends up turning out, because it's more of a group effort than just a photographer thing. I think that the realtors need to be involved, and they need to really put an emphasis on making sure that their media package looks impeccable. And like you were mentioning, you guys do the 3D tours and Matterport. And sometimes realtors are curious, like, what's the difference between a Zillow tour and a Matterport tour? So I'm going to let you speak to that.
Okay, and yeah, it's very what you're saying is very good because we have seen a lot of realtors trying to take their own pictures with the cell phones. So one of the things is that we use wide angle lens for that purpose. So we are trying to show up more of the room with the wide angle lens, and because so we always say use professional services. It's one of the most important things, no matter who is going to be the professional. It doesn't have to be us, right? But still, use professional services. They are going to take better pictures for your properties, and they're going to make it stand out because they are going to be looking a lot of nicer. Okay, it's going to be a lot of difference. So that's very important. So now, just to answer the next question is Matterport, Zillow 3D, and video walkthrough. It's very important to differentiate those. Why I say I mentioned the video also, right? Why? Because a lot of people get confused in between what is a 3D tour and video walkthrough. A 3D tour is a way to show the property that anybody can see it online, okay? And no matter where you are located in anywhere in the world, they can still see the property inside and walk through the property inside to see everything, okay? So for that, there are two different 3D tours available that we know, right? Two different ones. One is the Matterport and the other one is the Zillow 3D. Zillow 3D works with the Zillow company, okay, and also is one of the engines that people use more to when they are searching for properties for sale or when they want to buy a property, right? One of the benefits of the Zillow 3D tour is that it's gonna show up on the Zillow page. Is gonna show up with a red dot, and that red dot is gonna stand out for other properties that they don't have the 3D tour. Okay, that makes a little bit of difference. Also, when you include the floor plan with the 3D tour, it's gonna show also interactive floor plan, so that way you can see the property inside while you just click on every single room that you want to see. You don't have to be just trying to make the steps up because it's interactive. You can go to any room at any time just by the clicks that are posted over there. Okay, so that's very important. Matterport is a fancier way to do a 3D tour, okay, and that's recommended for commercial properties, okay. Basically, it's more recommended for commercial properties, or if you want to have something very like a luxury home that you want to show a better with better quality, because it has better quality. The Matterport has better quality than the Zillow 3D tour, but that one is not I mean, you can use the link to post it in everywhere you want, but it's not gonna show automatically in any of those places or engines where people search for properties. That's the difference between Zillow and the Matterport. The quality is one because Matterport has a lot of quality. Also, it makes it more expensive. With the
Yeah.
Matterport, you still have to pay because we had to pay uh, monthly fees. We had to pay annual fees, so that makes it more expensive. And that's why we always recommend the Zillow 3D too, because it's cheaper and they don't require all those fees. We have less fees on that, so we can make it a little cheaper and it's still very helpful for people to show up a little bit more of the property when they want people from other places to see it. The difference between the 3D tours and the video walkthrough is the walkthrough is like video clips. The video walkthrough is video clips that you put together and you can stitch them together to create like a video that can be used for YouTube, that can be used for social media as well.
Yeah, they're all super helpful in their own ways. And one of the things that I love about Matterport and the Zillow tour is the features that come with them. Like you were saying, it's an interactive map. So you can click on the different rooms or you can click on the floor plan and go to a specific room. And also, I've noticed that they are doing measurements in the room. So it shows you how many square feet are in the rooms. I know that that's on Matterport. I believe that it's on Zillow too. I'm not 100% sure. But I don't notice a huge difference in the quality between Zillow Tour and Matterport, but I do definitely recognize that Matterport comes out more clean and just crystal clear. I really like the Matterport product, but it is also helpful to do the Zillow 3D tour so that you can pop up on those search engines. And also, I asked someone who works for Zillow if they populate the listing more, and they do because it has the Zillow 3D tour, so they're trying to spark that engagement, so that's a plus for sure. Now,
Right.
just because they do the floor plans with Matterport and Zillow Tour, I personally think that it's very important to add the additional service of you guys generating the actual floor plan PDF because that's not generated in those, so that the realtors can add those to the MLS and also get the measurements for the property so that they can upload that in the MLS as well. Do you want to speak to those two services?
Right. So one of the things that we do is we are offering like the Silo 3D tour with the floor plan already included. They can have the PDF, as you say, Gwen, and also they can have the JPEG also available. They can use it for MLS as well. Okay. That's gonna show up the measure and that's gonna show up also the how the rooms and the layout of the property. So we consider that one a very good one. Okay. But this year, we learned another way for people who is not interested on the floor on having the 3D tour for their property. So we also offer the floor plan alone now. Okay, we have a different software that we are using right now that is popping up also the floor plans and there's popping up with the floor plans with the measurements over there so people can have the measurements. We offer the like measurements as a additional services that we offer. We can do that yeah, we have the measure over here and all that stuff. But if you want to do something better, you can get just the floor plan and get it with the measurements already included. So we know those are not gonna be like 100% accurate, but they are the most accurate we can say, right? There's gonna be always margin of error, right? So Matterport also offers the floor plan. It's only when requested. Okay, the Matterport usually, yeah, people don't offer that one or don't request that, but once in a while, we have a client who has said, "Hey, I did a Matterport and I would like to have a floor plan. Are you guys available to pop it up?" And we just had to request it from from the Matterport portal company, all right, of the company, so we can request it over there, and then we can offer that for the person we requested. Hmm.
I did not know that you guys included all of that with your 3D the Zillow 3D tour. That's a really good deal.
Yeah, yeah. So we try to do it, and usually it's very good pricing that we have for the Silo 3D tour. Anytime that we do the Silo now these days, it's gonna be coming with the floor plan included. It's most of the time people just want, yeah, the clients are saying like, "Can I get the floor plan? I don't want I don't care about the 3D tour."
Yeah. I do think it's very important. Of course, there are some properties where it's not going to matter, like if you know that it's a pristine property that's going to move quickly. But in my opinion, if you are representing a sale, you should do everything that you can to sell the property, which includes getting the media package that's going to bring the seller the most benefit. And I do think that that walkthrough tour is huge, huge, huge. Because in Texas, we have so many people that search from other states, just like you just said. And even if they're not, it reduces the amount of people that are walking through the property that haven't already done a 3D walkthrough tour because it's pretty similar as being in person. So overall, this has been super, super helpful. Thank you, Uber, so much for giving us detailed information and tips for outstanding photos. One thing that I did want to mention about Uber is that he is bilingual. So, for any realtor out there who needs a Spanish speaking photographer, Uber is incredible, and him and Bobby will take care of you with media vision for you to see real estate photography in DFW. Uber, did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I just wanna thank you, Gwen, for inviting me today. Yeah, to this meeting. It's very good because I can give a little bit of info over there for the clients and all the realtors available. Whoever you share this recording with, okay, is gonna be very helpful for them just to know all these little tips over there. So we are happy. I am happy to help you today over here, and anytime, feel free, and we can do more videos as well, okay?
Thank you. And as I've mentioned in my previous videos, if you guys have any other questions or tips that you'd like to know more information about on the listing process, drop that in the comments and I'll do my best to make a video on it.